Hi, I'm Lindsey. I taught myself to roller skate in 30 days, and I'm going to teach you how to do it too. Let's do this. When I first started skating, I wasn't sure what the basics were or what order I needed to learn them in or how I should plan out everything that I need to do. And so I've put together what I feel like was the best for me or what I could have done better. So my 30-day program is going to be right here on YouTube, and I'm going to make a series of 30 videos showing you each day what I feel like would have helped me the most to work on. Before I walk you through day one of the program, let's talk about 4 important things you need to know before you start. Each day will take you through a warm-up, then it will include new skills for the day, and then a quick workout to help you with strength and balance foundations that you need for roller skating. The 30 days do not need to be done consecutively. It is actually really hard to just roller skate every day. I know because I did it. You can just hop on and practice whatever skills are in the video for that day, and then if you take a day off or 2, then you just go to the next video and you do the next video. Let's talk about skating gear. So first, before you start skating, you're definitely gonna need some skates. So I have the Moxie Beach Bunnies and I love them. I actually started out with a cheap pair of skates from Amazon, and while I don't regret it, because now I have an extra pair of skates for my friends whenever they want to go skating, I know that if I had just went with these, I would have saved a lot of money. So I would definitely recommend these, and especially no matter what, get the toe covers, because you will destroy the front of your skates. I know I did. The other things I love about the skates are the toe stops. The toe stops are great. They're adjustable, and if you're doing dance skating, you want to be able to push them in really far, and if you're doing like street skating, you want to be able to use them and stop. They actually have some grip to them, unlike my cheap skates, which came with like really plasticky ones. So yeah, definitely recommend these skates, the Moxie Beach Bunnies. I love mine. I like to wear some tall stance socks with my skates because I think they're pretty. And then I have my elbow pads and knee pads, which are absolutely essential. I like the 888 ones because they weren't too expensive and they do the job and they're really pretty. I have to wear elbow pads and knee pads because without them I just have zero confidence, and I love knowing that if I fall, I'm gonna be as best protected as I can be. And then my helmet, which is also one of my favorites. It's really fun and pretty. So make sure before you start that you have all your gear ready, and that's basically all you need. The skates, elbow pads and knee pads, helmet, and maybe a skate tool, I guess, if you want to adjust your skates. That's my skating gear. So also make sure to check out my Instagram, Lindsey Skates. I'm gonna have a checklist of all the skills you'll learn. It's the perfect way to track your progress as you learn your skills during the 30-day program. And now let's get started with day 1. For day 1, we're going to start with the very basics of roller skating, starting with standing up. So when I do this, I think the best way is to go over to my knees and my hands, then put one foot in front of the other into a kneeling position, and then standing all the way up. I feel like this gives me the most stability and it's the safest way of standing. Go ahead and practice this a couple times, but you don't really need to practice it that much. You'll get that very easily. Now that you're in a standing position on your skates, let's practice switching our weight from side to side. First, we're going to start with really low, small switches, just trying to transfer your weight from one skate to the other skate. Once you've gotten the hang of that, let's move on to something a little bit more difficult, which is holding that position. So you're going to start by holding for 5 seconds on your left side and then switching to your right side and holding for 5 seconds. Being able to do this isn't just important for being able to skate forward, it is also important for more difficult moves in the future. Now, go ahead and pause the video and accumulate a total of 30 seconds on each side. Next, we're going to start with skating forward. Here's an example. First, I like to stand with my feet in a V position. This position is stable and I don't have to worry about moving around. Next, I put one leg behind the other into a T type of position so I can get some leverage to push off. Here's another view and a little surprise visit from the bee that liked my camera a little bit too much. I slowed down this video so you could see how I'm turning my feet out slightly and transferring my weight side to side. In the last two, you could see that I really emphasized the turning out of the feet, but even if you don't turn out your feet a ton, you can still keep moving forward. It's just the more that you turn out, the more leverage you can get, so it's easier to push off. Now go ahead and give this a try. Make sure that your feet are pointing out at least slightly and that you're shifting your weight from side to side just like we practiced earlier. Go ahead and try moving forward with your feet pointing out slightly 4 times and then 4 times with your feet pointing in a bigger V. Now that you're able to skate forward, let's practice moving around in a circle. So my circle is probably a little bit small. I prefer if you guys started in a bigger space. But either way, I'm still performing the movement the same way. I'm still switching my weight from side to side while keeping my feet slightly pointed out. When you start skating in a circle, you're going to realize that there's some times when you don't need to keep pushing with your feet. So at these times, you can just practice gliding. This is when I have both feet facing forward and I am not pushing, I'm just riding out the momentum that I have already created. Now you're ready to give this a try. Let's start by skating 10 times in a circle facing the right and 10 times in a circle facing the left. Now let's learn some new skills, starting with the most important one, stopping. First, let's work on the traditional drag toe stop. This is not the best way of stopping, but it is a great way for beginners to learn how to stop because it's super simple. I will teach you my favorite ways of stopping in the upcoming videos. For the traditional toe stop, you just put one foot behind the other and drag that toe stop on the ground. You will need to keep both of your knees slightly bent and shift your weight to the leg that is still rolling. Be sure not to use this method of stopping at high speeds and make sure to practice both sides. To practice this, we're going to skate in a line and then we're going to perform the drag toe stop and then come to a stopping position, turn around, and do it on the other side. Let's practice this 5 times on each side. The next skill you're going to learn is skating with one foot directly in front of the other. This is a cool move and also it'll help you to learn manuals and be able to weave your feet back and forth. And it is also the foundation for many other more difficult roller skating moves. To perform this move, you need to have a little bit of speed coming into it. This is a gliding move, so the speed has already been created. You're going to keep both knees slightly bent and also keep your weight centered. Now it's your turn to try. Go ahead and try 5 times on the left side and 5 times on the right side, giving a good push and then moving that foot into the front and then trying to hold that position. And glide it out until you come to a stop. Let's practice this by doing 5 on each side. The next move you're going to learn is called a cannonball. This is where you start by pushing off and then you're going to glide and you're going to go down into a deep squat and then stand back up. Once you're rolling, you're going to make sure that both feet are pointing directly forward and you're going to glide while you start to bend your knees. And if you can only go down a little bit at first, that's perfectly fine. Because as you work on this, you'll be able to go lower and lower with time. Let's go ahead and practice this 5 times stationary, then do 15 cannonballs while rolling. Next, you're going to start learning the foundations for learning transitions. The way we're going to do this is by practicing quarter turns. We're going to open up our body to the left at a 90-degree angle. Our arms are opening 90 degrees and our foot is opening 90 degrees. And then you're going to continue that motion to make a full 360 circle. The goal is to make it around in a full circle in 4 moves, each 1/4 turn. In the coming days, you will be working on doing this into 180-degree turns, so with 2 moves to make the full 360-degree circle. Now, let's practice. We're going to do 5 circles to the left and 5 circles to the right. Remember to do this in 4 moves each and make 90-degree angles with your feet and arms. The last foundational move that we're going to be working on today is for our shoot the duck or one-legged squat or pistol. Today, we're going to be working on this stationary, but in the future, we will be doing this rolling. When you do this, you want to focus on keeping all of your weight centered over the non-moving foot. Next, keep your core tight and chest up while you slide the heel of the moving foot forward. You can go as low as you want on this. I'm only going about 1/4 of a way down. But if you wanted to, you could practice going all the way down and then coming back up. The last part of today's roller skating practice is a workout. We're going to put together the skills you learned and do them to help make you stronger and better balanced. There are going to be 6 different moves and you're going to do this for 3 rounds.
The first move is going to be just like the cannonball, but stationary. So we're going to go down into a squat and try to keep our chest upright for 10 repetitions. Once you've done it that way for at least one round, go ahead and try it rolling. I tried to challenge myself to get rolling and then do as many squats in that roll as I could. Next are side leg lifts. You're going to do 10 on each side. These are really hard at first. You have to find the balance, so take your time. I held onto the post for the first round, but on the next 2 rounds, I did not use the post. Next are side steps. I did 4 steps each way for 2 times. Next is alternating back leg lifts. I kept all the weight on my front foot and lifted my back leg slowly. These are really hard at first, so make sure you take your time and find your balance. If you're having trouble finding your balance on these, make sure to hold on to a post or something stationary while you learn how to do these. Next, we're going to work on our 90-degree transition steps. But this time, we're lifting our knee up really high to 90 degrees and using a passe position to rotate, which makes these a little bit more difficult than before. Lastly, we are going to be doing our one-legged squats. Go ahead and do 5 on each side. Here's the workout written out. Go ahead, pause the video, and let's get that workout done.
Okay, so that was it for today. Stay tuned for day 2.
Also, if you roller skated along with me today, make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can repost your story.